on YouTube? Today I'm coming at you with a informational video. I put on my Instagram story the other day that if you had any questions with photography or videography to let me know, and I'll answer them the best I could. We only got one question, but it is what it is. Some people just aren't interested in it, and that's fine. We're going to answer this question. A beginner's camera that's a good all-around camera. So I love Sony to death, but I'm biased, and I know I'm biased. So I'll give you a few good, decent cameras outside of Sony, but I'll also give you a few good ones within Sony. So if you're not really looking for like action, but you want to do vlogging or just videos like this, where you can have a standstill camera and kind of just talk over and then put some video overlays with some music, want to start a YouTube channel and take some decent pictures, I will recommend anything from the Sony ZV-E10. But Sony ZV-E10 shoots 4K 30 frames per second, so 4K you're automatically getting great quality. It takes great photos, 16 by 9, I think it's 3000 by 4000. I could be wrong on that, so if somebody wanted to comment and clear that up. But overall, it's very small, compact, and it has a flip out screen. It's huge. It's what I'm using right now. So the quality you can see, and the autofocus is phenomenal. So I'm like walking all the way back, and it's still just keeping it nice and clear, keeping it focused on myself. I would also recommend anything from the Sony A6000 line. So A6000 and up, I think it goes up to 6600. The higher cameras shoot 4K, but obviously if you're shooting 4K, you're also looking at a higher price tag. There is a bunch on Facebook Marketplace, so I highly recommend that. You also have the Nikon Z50. That's a new camera that just came out, and I've heard really good things about it. I've heard that the 4K is pretty good. I think it has shutter repair, just like a lot of beginner cameras, but I mean, again, if you're not doing action videography, that's not going to matter to you really much. I know a good one. I know a few people who have this camera as well, and they're very happy with it. The Canon M50 Mark II. I think that's around 600, 700, I believe. Again, so I mean, if you're looking for a decent camera that can do pretty much decent stuff all around, you're gonna be looking to spend anywhere around 500 to 700 bucks. You can definitely find cheaper ones on Facebook Marketplace, people trying to get rid of them, but then again, you also have that little bit of extra risk with it. I don't know, I've known a lot of people who've gotten camera gear off Facebook Marketplace and have been very happy with it. People are just trying to get rid of it, and you get a deal on it. So I highly recommend those. And if you have any more questions, reach out, comment down below. I think they're great cameras overall. And since we only had one question, I'll talk about the trifecta real quick. So the trifecta. So the three different things you need to focus on for videography and photography: ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. Those are very, very, very important. So with shutter speed is basically how fast your sensor is opening and closing and letting an amount of light in. So the faster shutter speed is going to open and close real quick. It's not letting a lot of light in, so it's going to be a darker photo, but it's going to be a lot clearer photo as well. So if you have someone running and you're taking a picture of them, and it opens up, closes real fast, that picture of them is going to be very in focus and very still. There's not going to be a lot of drag or like a lot of lag behind them. It's not going to be blurry. The subject's going to be very well in focus because of how quick of a snapshot it took. Now, if it's more open, it's going to be a lot brighter. You're going to let a lot more light in, but you need to keep the camera more still, or you're going to see that shake in it. So then if you're looking to do time lapses or astrophotography, you're going to want to get a tripod, so that way you can keep your camera still, and it allows it to open up for long periods of time and then close in the exact same place, letting all that light in. I've done some astrophotography myself. It's really cool, but I also have a very expensive tripod to kind of keep it level and keep it still. And some of the stuff you can do is really cool. What's next? So now we have aperture. So when you get a lens, it's going to have F and a number after it. The lower that number, the more blurry your background is going to be. So this is on this lens right now, it's a 1.4. So the closer I get, the more blurred out the background is, and it gets that really nice bokeh behind you, and it gets that really nice depth of field. It really separates the subject from the background. It just really gets this really cool. So like if I held something up super close, I'm out of focus, but now I'm back in. So usually these tend to be very fast. You can get great third-party lenses with a really low aperture, and it's really cool because it just makes the camera and picture so much nicer. Lower aperture is also going to run up the price though. Lower aperture is always going to make the price way more expensive. So there's a give and take with it. And then ISO. So a camera comes with ISO, and ISO is basically fake light. So the higher you bump your ISO, it will make the image brighter. However, when you get too high, that's when you start getting grainier photos or grainier video, and you don't really want to jack it up too much. Better cameras, more professional cameras, are able to go higher without seeing grain, but that's basically just the trifecta. If you want me to go more in detail in another video, let me know. I can show you guys a lot more examples, but for starting photography and videography, suggest you really watch that and really get those 3 down, because that's going to help you with your photography and videography so much in the future. If you have any more questions or want me to go over anything else, let me know in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe. You know how it goes. It was good seeing you guys. Take care, and I'll see you next video.